Israel Adesanya addresses whether he regrets calling Alex Pereira that guy in the bar. Alex defeated Izzy twice in Glory Kickboxing, delivering a devastating knockout in their second fight. While Izzy was establishing himself in the UFC before Pereira's arrival, he made the remark during an interview. Pereira later revealed that hearing Izzy's comment motivated him to join the UFC.
He's gonna be at some pub talking some about I beat that guy one time.
Izzy states that he does not regret making the comment and explains why he's actually glad that he said it.
Magic, do you regret calling Alex Pereira that guy in a bar? If you could go back, would you say it again?
I don't regret it, no, because I was right. And also I don't because it motivated him. It's, again, I love this story, eh? It's just the best. Like, he's actually at a bar drinking and it's like, Sharma, boom, decides to become, you know, MMA fighter, or well, he was already an MMA fighter, but decides to like take it seriously and get to the UFC and fight me, chase me. But again, like I said, he chased me. I didn't do that. But I don't regret it, no. I am glad I did because it motivated him. And look what we've created. I created a monster.
Fight announcements. Corey Sandhagen and Davison Figueiredo have been officially scheduled for a 5-round main event at UFC Iowa on May 3rd. Many fans anticipated that Sandhagen's next bout would be against Sean O'Malley, but the matchup never came to fruition. Sandhagen enters this fight following a unanimous decision loss to Umar Nurmagomedov in August, while Figueiredo is also looking to rebound from a unanimous decision defeat against Petr Yan this past November. Gilbert Burns vs. Michael Morales has been rescheduled from UFC 314 to UFC 315. Following the announcement, Burns shared his reaction on X, stating, "After many conversations and many other dates, we finally got a date. See you soon." Mike Malott has been scheduled to fight Charles Radke at UFC 315, set to take place in Montreal, Canada. This presents Malott with another opportunity to secure a victory on home turf. His last fight in Canada was at UFC 297, where he suffered a third-round TKO loss to Neil Magny, marking his first defeat in the UFC. Since then, he fought Trevin Giles back in November and won via unanimous decision. What do you guys think of these matchups? Post your predictions in the comments. Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett had a friendly exchange on social media last night. The two are scheduled to face off in the co-main event of UFC 314 on April 12th. Chandler posted this video to his Instagram wearing a blonde wig, with the caption, "In camp, #UFC 314, walk on, see you at the top." Paddy Pimblett left a comment on the video. He wrote, "Yes, Mike, love this lad. See you at the top, brother." Song Yadong plans to retire Henry Cejudo at UFC Seattle. While he acknowledges that he likes Henry and will feel bad for ending his career, Yadong believes that Cejudo's time in the sport has come to an end. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, he went on to say, "Yeah, I think if he lost this one, this is his last fight, the last round. But I will win this fight. I believe this is his last one, his last fight. This will be the last fight in Seattle. Time is over. It's time to retire. I'd feel bad a little bit. Couldn't hurt his microphone, you know? He's a very interesting guy. I like him. That's what I wanted. Last year in May, I called him out. UFC wanted me to fight him in September, but he got injured and we finally got this one. Yeah, he's a very good fighter. 2-division UFC champion, Olympic champion, a lot of achievements. It's an honor to fight him. So if I win this fight, I have another chance to challenge the top 5. If I win this one, give me top 5 fighters, for sure. Then 1 more, 2 more, I will get a title shot." Renato Moicano believes that many are underestimating Henry Cejudo ahead of his upcoming fight against Song Yadong. Despite Cejudo being at the tail end of his MMA career and a decade older than Yadong, Moicano is confident in Cejudo's chances. He predicts that Cejudo will find success with his takedowns and ultimately score a victory by decision.
Tell me that next week.
Am I wrong?
When Cejudo take him down 5 times, remember?
5 times?
5 times. Do you want to bet 5 times?
I'll go under 5.
No, I don't know.
I'll go under 3.5 with you.
No.
Just
money line. Cejudo money line.
Plus 220.
Song Yadong is a monster.
Song Yadong.
Oh, God.
Guy's a monster, bro.
All right, Moicano. So
He's losing.
how does he lose it, though? It's a 5-rounder.
Decision.
You think Cejudo, what do you think? Like,
Brother, the level of disrespect just because motherfucker is retiring and he lost back to back to.
Yes, just because he was retiring. Because when you retire, when you're thinking about it, you're already thinking, and he lost, and then and I like Cejudo. The guy's freaking good, high level, great. But
he lost to Merab and to
Aljo.
The styles are completely different.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo give their takes on Belal Muhammad, stating that he wants to move up to middleweight and challenge Dricus Du Plessis for the title. Islam Makhachev has made it clear that he does not want to retire from MMA until he achieves double champ status. And despite Belal stating numerous times that he doesn't want to fight Islam due to the fact that they're friends and training partners, Kamaru and Henry believe that is the fight to make. They do not think Belal would have much success in a matchup with Dricus.
I don't feel like it's there, dude. I feel like the fight that needs to be made, because he's trying to say, hey, if I fight DDP, I will allow Islam to go up and then fight for the bout at 170 pounds. That's not the way it works, dude. The UFC is not going to buy that. They're not going to do that. They're going to let people call their shots. The fight that really does need to happen, it is Islam versus Belal. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the fight that people really do need to make, because that's the fight that Islam's deserved it. He's earned it. He's lapping people. He's getting ready to possibly fight maybe one more time before he fights, for the double champ status. So that's how I feel about it. I like that Belal was in there just making noise, and these dudes are replying, because that's what happens when you're channeling. People will listen a little bit more. But at the same time, that's not intriguing. I don't think stylistically, I just don't know if Belal. I don't know if Belal can be DDP, man. I really don't, man. So.
Well, I agree completely with you, Henry. I agree. And there's not much that needs to be said after that. I disagree.
Belal Muhammad will defend his welterweight title against Della Maddalena in the main event of UFC 315. In the latest episode of Remember the Show, Belal shared his thoughts on the matchup. He believes he's superior in every area and will dominate JDM. He states that JDM lacks experience and has never competed in a high-profile fight, which he believes will ultimately be his downfall.
But what do you think is the most dangerous thing about JDM, and what do you need to worry about?
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I'm better everywhere. People were going to say, and they're going to ready to come out oh, he got hands. But I think they just underestimate my hands and my striking, and I just went against the best striker in the UFC, and Leon Edwards, so-called. I train with the best striker in the UFC, Ignacio Balmendez. I train with Yair Rodriguez. Both these guys, you've seen them spar, you guys seen it, they're a different level. So when I have a guy that's basic, and Jack, who's just boxing, right? He has really good hands, he has good power, but he breaks a lot of these guys down because he hasn't fought anybody like me. His biggest weakness is his experience. He's never been in a big fight like that. He hasn't had a pressure fight yet. He hasn't fought a pressure fighter yet. So for me, I think I'm going to go in there and I'm going to walk through him like I thought I was going to do to everybody else, and I've done everybody else.
Ahead of his main event fight against Song Yadong tomorrow at UFC Seattle, Henry Cejudo reveals he was going to retire after his recent unanimous decision loss to Merab Dvlishvili. However, Dana White didn't give him the microphone after the fight. Henry explains why he's glad that happened, and despite losing, he still feels like Merab is not on his level.
Excited for the opportunity. It's been a year since I fought, and just excited. First of all, I don't think I ever really thought that I would be competing at this. Dude, I wasn't even thinking I was gonna even compete past. I've always had the number 29. I never want to get into my 30s and still compete. But that's not life. It's I'm proud of myself for that same reason. To be able to still compete and do the whole 9 at this age, it just. I never thought I'd be one of those, but apparently I am. First, the time that I did retire at the age of 33, I was super satisfied with my career. Olympic gold, 2-division champ. It was all that I ever wished for and some. I've always wanted to win the Olympics and then become a UFC champion, but then I've been able to even exceed my own goals. And I think it's complex because you start seeing these guys fight, you start to get a little bit of the drive, maybe you get into the trolling a little bit. But then you really do start to question, dude, can I still compete with these dudes? And that's the biggest question now. So it's more of a motivation that's not feeling the pain of losing and going out there and feeling that satisfaction once again. I want to thank Dana, because Dana White didn't give me that mic, so I didn't get a chance to put my gloves down. And I think that was the best thing that could have happened, because I'm just like, man, I didn't feel like Merab was at my level. And I did have a growing issue in that fight camp. I pretty much hurt it 3 weeks in, so 5 weeks of not wrestling. And I still believe that I could win. But, you know, that wasn't the case, man. You know, I won the first and I got dominated in the first and second round. And, you know, sometimes things happen for a reason, dude. And I think what Merab is doing now, I tip my hat out to him. Respect, dude. Respect, man.
Israel Adesanya has addressed fans who are calling him washed following his current 3-fight losing streak. Izzy has come up short against Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis, and most recently suffered a TKO loss to Nasruddin Imavov. While Izzy acknowledges that he doesn't expect to win the belt again, he firmly dismisses the notion that he's washed. He went on to say, "When I got to the UFC, I never chased the belt. I stand on that. I never chased the belt. I expected it. I expected to be champion. I expected to get to this point that I wanted to get to because of the work that I put in and my belief in myself, my mindset. I knew with everything that I was going to do, I was going to get there. I expected it." After the DDP fight, I remember thinking, oh well, cool. It'll come around. I don't have to chase it. It'll come around. I expected. Now after this fight, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting to be the champ again. If what I've done in this game doesn't make me happy already, then what will? So I'm not expecting it. If it comes, I'll take it with both hands, but I'm not expecting it. I'm kind of just chilling and living, training, doing well. They call me washed, but how are you going to call me washed when you haven't even been in the laundry? You haven't even gotten dirty. What have you done? On what's next? Izzy continued, "To be honest, I don't know. I have an idea when I want to fight Ish, but for the first time, I want to say a long time, but I've never really been in this position, so I don't know, and I'm just taking it as it comes. It's nice, because before I came on the scene, I had to adapt and call a lot of audibles as things were playing along, and call my next move, but now I'll just plot." Following the announcement of Ilia Topuria vacating his featherweight title and moving up to lightweight, Islam Makhachev's manager suggested Ilia face either Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira first, before challenging Islam for the belt. Ilia believes that Islam is scared of him. In a recent interview, Ilia said he's scared. Of course he's scared. Of course. If it was that easy, and if I was such a dwarf as he says, he would already share the octagon with me, wouldn't he? There's a reason he doesn't want to. I understand. It's okay. I want to fight at 155. I don't really need Islam's name. It's not like he's anything special. If he stays to fight me, obviously it's an exciting fight for the whole audience, and if not, we'll build our future. Ilia Topuria's agent Malki Kawa also responded to Islam's manager and makes the case for why Ilia versus Islam makes perfect sense.
You know, I don't really come on here that much anymore. I kind of like stay to myself, but when certain managers come out there and talk about a guy's too small, shouldn't move up, needs to fight someone else, let's make sure we just get the facts straight. He knocked out Volk in his first opportunity to knock him out. The fight wasn't close. When your client fought Volk, he struggled with him the first time. Don't forget that. Second, he knocks him out, and then he knocks out Max Holloway, who happens to be probably one of the greatest 45ers of all time. I'm not sure why he doesn't deserve a shot at 155. But I don't blame you. I wouldn't want my client to fight Ilia Topuria either.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. You guys roasted Michael Chandler in yesterday's video. The first one's from Jacob Green. It says, "Love how Chandler always says see you at the top, yet the dude is moving backwards." The second one's from VG Hunter. It says, "Imagine putting your career on hold for 3 years just to fight Paddy Pimblett." And the final one's from Lloyd5763. It says, "Chandler has the best fish hook in the UFC." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.